What if the universe is already dead and we just haven't realized it yet? I know, it sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi horror movie, but stay with me, because this isn't a crazy internet theory. It's an actual scientific possibility that starts with one of the most depressing words in physics: entropy. Entropy is the universe's way of saying nothing lasts forever. It's the measure of how disordered everything is, and no matter how hard we try, the universe keeps getting messier. Stars burn out, galaxies drift farther apart, and energy slowly spreads until there's nothing left to do any work. This future is known as the heat death of the universe, a moment when every bit of usable energy is gone, and the cosmos becomes a cold, dark graveyard of particles. But here's the twist. What if that has already happened? What if everything we experience right now is just the fading afterimage of a universe that ended long ago? To understand this, let's back up a bit. Right now, the universe is expanding, and that expansion is accelerating thanks to something called dark energy. We don't really know what dark energy is. It could be a property of space itself, or something far stranger. But we do know it's pushing galaxies away from each other faster and faster. In the distant future, stars will burn through their fuel, black holes will evaporate, and eventually, the universe will reach maximum entropy. No heat, no light, no motion, just an endless, frozen stillness. That's the traditional heat death scenario. It's the ultimate anticlimax. The universe doesn't explode, it just fades out. But there's another possibility, one that's even more unsettling. In quantum field theory, the vacuum, the empty space between particles, isn't truly empty. It's filled with energy fluctuations that constantly appear and disappear. Think of it like a boiling pot of nothingness. According to some models, the vacuum we live in might not be the most stable state possible. It could be a false vacuum, a temporary, precarious version of reality that looks stable but isn't. Somewhere out there, in the unimaginable vastness of space, a random quantum event could trigger a transition to a true vacuum, a lower energy state where the laws of physics themselves are different. The instant that happens, a bubble of true vacuum would expand at the speed of light, rewriting everything in its path. Planets, stars, atoms, even the fabric of space would be obliterated. No warning, no explosion, just instant nothing. And because that bubble would move at the speed of light, we'd never see it coming. It would already be too late. The terrifying part is that this could have already happened somewhere in the universe. And since light takes time to travel, we might be living in a kind of quantum ghost story, inhabiting a region of space that's technically doomed but hasn't yet received the news. Imagine if reality itself were a recording, still playing long after the player has stopped working. Now, you might say, that's insane. If the universe were dead, how could we be here talking about it? But time, according to relativity, doesn't flow the same everywhere. To an observer moving at near the speed of light, time stretches. To someone near a massive object, it slows down. What if, on the cosmic scale, the death of the universe isn't a sudden moment but a process stretched over eons, so long that, from our perspective, it still looks alive? In other words, we could be experiencing the last microseconds of existence, dilated into billions of years. Every sunrise, every galaxy, every heartbeat could be happening inside a single frozen frame of cosmic time, slowly unraveling toward absolute zero. And then there's the simulation angle. Some physicists and philosophers have proposed that consciousness, or at least the information that makes up our universe, might persist even after physical death, sort of like data left in a corrupted hard drive. If reality is fundamentally information, maybe the death of the universe doesn't erase it instantly. Maybe it lingers, decaying slowly, like a cosmic afterimage. The light from dead stars keeps traveling long after those stars are gone. Could our own existence be the same thing? A kind of memory echo, still glowing faintly in the darkness after the source went out? Let's take this one step deeper. The laws of thermodynamics say energy can't be created or destroyed, only transformed. So even if the universe dies, where does that energy go? Some cosmologists think it might recycle. Big Bang, expansion, heat death, and then somehow a new Big Bang from the ashes. A cosmic heartbeat. Others think that's wishful thinking and that entropy always wins. But there's a third idea, that all possible versions of reality already exist, like frames on a film reel. From this view, time isn't something that flows. It's something we move through. Every moment that has ever existed still exists, and always will. So maybe the universe isn't dying or dead. Maybe it's simply done, complete in every frame, and our consciousness just happens to be scanning through it, 1 second at a time. The end of the universe wouldn't feel like anything, because we're still inside the story, still reading the pages, unaware that the book has already been closed. Here's where it gets really strange. When you fall into a black hole, something weird happens with time. From your perspective, you fall right in. But to an outside observer, you appear to slow down, forever frozen at the event horizon. The universe's edge could be doing something similar. From an internal perspective, ours, it's alive, expanding, full of light and movement. But from an external perspective, if such a thing even exists, it could be already frozen, a cosmic corpse trapped in its final instant. We wouldn't know. We'd never notice. To us, the lights are still on, but in the grand scheme, maybe we're already over the edge. So what would it mean if the universe were already dead? Would it matter? Probably not. We'd still wake up, scroll through our phones, drink bad coffee, argue on the internet. Because meaning isn't something the universe gives us, it's something we invent. The universe doesn't care if it's alive or dead. It doesn't care if we understand it. It just is. Maybe the real horror isn't that the cosmos will one day end, but that it might already have, and life goes on exactly the same way. Maybe we're like ghosts haunting a house that burned down billions of years ago, still following the same routines, still pretending the walls are there. But there's another way to see it. If everything we love, everything we experience, is just the echo of a dead universe, then it's kind of beautiful that the echo still sings. That somehow, across unimaginable time and entropy, we can still feel, think, create, and laugh at the absurdity of it all. Maybe existence isn't about how long it lasts, but that it happens at all. The fact that we can look into the night sky, see the light of stars that died millions of years ago, and still find meaning in it, that's proof that even if the universe is dead, it hasn't stopped being interesting. So maybe the question isn't, what if the universe is already dead? Maybe the real question is, would you even notice if it was? Because if everything you love, everything you know, every thought and every joke still feels real, then maybe dead isn't the end. Maybe it's just another word for done. And in that quiet, frozen darkness, the faint glow of memory might be the most alive thing there is.